So when it comes to healing, we used to follow this protocol called RICE, rest, ice, compress, and elevate. What we have found in human models though, that rest actually does not help us heal. And if we do it for too long, we actually will get weaker and our tissue will become less resilient, meaning we're more likely to have ongoing issues. We've replaced that now with peace and love. And there'll be a link at the end of this video describing the parts of peace and love in more detail. But the Cliff Note version is, if we are safely loading tissue, we will heal faster and we will heal more completely. So if we think about healing like a conveyor belt, we want to bring in good circulation and we want to flush out the byproducts of healing. And if we are resting, that conveyor belt slows down and things get clogged up. So we want to think about increasing our heart rate, intentional safe movement, intentional safe loading, and we'll heal faster and better. So what does that look like in the dog world? RICE looks like kennel rest. And kennel rest doesn't help your dog heal faster. What I'd like to see instead in the peace and love category would be safe movement. So safe movement might look like leash walks for 10 or 15 minutes multiple times a day. It might look like balancing exercises, putting weight through the affected limb. Or it might look like some higher level activity depending on where your dog's at. So we've replaced RICE with peace and love, which is a more active approach to recovery.